Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Heartwell Dev stream, the live stream series where I continue to develop this adorable Souls-like action RPG with platform mechanics and multiple endings. And if you find these dev streams interesting or helpful, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and boop that bell button to stay notified. Now, off stream I have been quite busy writing story stuff, specifically lore, to add to the Science and Edits menu, and I'm happy to say it's finally added. There's well over, I think there's like somewhere close to 30 new pieces of lore that have been added just in this Science and Edits menu, if not more. And it took a while, not just to write it, but also to program it and then edit things down so that it actually would fit in the manifest help box. But I'm happy to say that has been accomplished, as you can see as we scroll through here very quickly. There's different little bits of lore in most of these descriptions for the Science and Edits menu. And it was a lot of fun to put this together, so really looking forward to people's reactions and theories about the lore in the next major updates. But our focus will be on the Science and Edits menu, though not in the way it has been in the past. Because at this point, the Science and Edits menu is functional. However, it is not functional in all of the frames that we need it to be functional in. Since right now... Oh, hello, Quinn. Thank you so much for dropping by. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. As I was saying, the main focus of tonight is going to be making this Settings and Edits menu work in the other frames. Specifically, the Central Well, Lower Well, and Depths of Bardoff Well, which are the different areas in the tutorial dungeon in the demo. So that'll be the main focus for tonight. But as you can see, we have I finally finished programming all the lore for Science and Edits menu. It was a lot of fun to add these in, and that's something I'm very much looking forward to seeing people theory craft about in the next update to Heartwell's the Heartwell demo. But for now, let's hop to it. We have a lot to do to get these copied over to the other frames. And it's tricky because you would think that, oh, well, Antomicx, it's just, you've created all the code here. Can't you just copy paste it over? Sort of. It's not as simple as just one Control-C, Control-V, and we're all good. No. It's, and that's because in order to make this work on the testing frame, I had to adjust not just stuff specifically for the Science and Edits menu, but also some general programming logic for even things that are in the other parts of the manifest. So to try and keep track of that, I wrote down some things over here. I just need to find it. All right, and this is one I would have easily missed, so one of the first things we need to do is make sure that the chronometer is being updated in the right stuff. So I think the simplest way to go at this is, I don't remember if I did this for each of the different pages. There are a lot of notes here. Give me a second, chat, just to refresh myself on where we are. We've done that. Done that. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we're gonna have different sections for each of the area, so we'll say add settings and basics menu, and we'll make this a title. plant more easily. This is not done. I'll say progress. So we'll just go from there. Hello, Copper Nicholson. Thank you so much for dropping by. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Let me check one thing real quick, chat. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Sorry about that, chat. Just wanted to make sure that my microphone was on. We're all good. So first things first is to program ability to use the mouse button to select the quick menu button. I think. Cumber Nicholson asks, who's my favorite Mortal Kombat character? Short version is, I don't have one because I haven't really played Mortal Kombat. I know of Mortal Kombat, but that would basically be like asking me to pick a favorite sports team. I'm unfortunately not well versed enough in it to really have a good say on it. All right. So the first thing we'll get there. Also, yo, Jay, thanks for dropping by. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub, man. I really appreciate it. Jay says, from the ashes of being busy with life, you return. Yes! Welcome back, Jay. Welcome. We are in the midst of propagating the Saints and Eights menu because, at least in the testing frame, the Saints and Eights menu is all complete, including the many pieces of lore that are within the menu descriptions. So, I just finished adding those in, and now we're just going to essentially take what we have here in the Science and Eights menu on the testing frame and propagate it through the central well, lower well, and depths frames. Now, this will be an effort unto itself because there are not just new things with the Science and Eights menu, but also changes I had to make to some of the code with the manifest menus in general to get it up there. Jay says the lore book now contains 150% more lore and counting. Oh my goodness. I mean, there were at least, I think there's at least 30 new pieces of lore, if not more, that were added in this new Science and Eights menu, just within the menu descriptions. Or somewhere around there. It was quite a bit, so yeah, definitely a lot more lore to be investigating. And it was a lot of fun to write too, because I essentially had to ask the question, how would I condense like a decent chunk of the history of humankind in like maybe around 30 little paragraph snippets? It was a process, but it was a lot of fun too. Copper Nicholson asks, so you don't remember Rambo? I vaguely remember Rambo, but that's only because you showed me them, Copper Nicholson, and I don't think that's enough of a that's not enough of a deep dive into Mortal Kombat's characters for me to really take offer much of an opinion as to a favorite. So the first thing we have to do is check for where program the ability to use that tab to open up the quick menu. Now I don't remember if I did that already, but it's something we can check. Okay, so that's been programmed, at least in this frame. Yeah, so I think, yeah, so from what I can tell, oh, it's not in this frame. Okay. Yeah, okay. So some stuff was programmed in the central well that was not in the lower well or depths. I think the mouse button would be what determines this. Yeah, melee and ranged weapon checks. Aha! This is the line of code we are looking for. Line 403. Well, actually, probably best to do this with the testing frame, since it has all the major changes, and we can go from there. Well, Copper Nicholson, you have to remember, your question was, what was my favorite? And I can't say if that's definitively my favorite if I don't really fully understand the other characters in the roster. So, yep, I'm excited for that. Let's see what we have over here. Jay says, you forget, are these quality of life and menu updates coming to the demo or only a full release? Great question. So, essentially, all of these quality of life updates I've been making in, over the past, I think it's been like 9 months at this point, if not more. All these quality of life updates will be coming to the demo. And it's not just the stuff about the Science and Edits menu or the ability to go full screen. It's also tiny things like this, where there'll be UI that tells you if you have enough XP to level up your player stats, melee stats, or range stats. So right now, I actually do have enough XP to level up my currently equipped melee weapon and ranged weapon, but not enough for my player weapon. And I don't have to open up my menu to check for that, which is a nice quality of life update. But, I mean, the other things that will be coming with that update besides this is, obviously, yep, talked about XP distribution changes. Yes, indeedy. In fact, let's see, is there a enemy around here? There's like a rattlesnake or something. I think I defeated them all. Well, we can change that. 1 second. So, yep, part of those changes will be at speed distribution changes. So I don't remember if I did it in the testing frame, but at least in, like, the tutorial dungeon, all of the normal enemies give about 5 times the amount of XP they previously gave. So, for example, the rattlesnake, the easiest enemy in the game, used to give 20 XP. Under the current rebalancing, it's now 100 XP, and that's just the baseline. So that'll make grinding to level things up a lot easier. However, one of the caveats to that is I made the decision to make the bosses in Heartwell harder, well, to compensate for that, because if all the enemies are giving like 5 times as much XP by default, then that also means the player will be expected to be at a noticeably higher level stat-wise before they reach the bosses. So the way I'm planning to handle that is I'll probably be increasing their health by some amount, and I also intend to give them each a second phase. Now, the second phase isn't going to, like, I'm not going to go like full Dark Souls 3, just completely off the walls insanity in the second phase for the tutorial bosses, because that would just be too much. But I do want to at least have the second phase of each of those bosses reinforce some lessons that I want the players to learn early on about just the combat system. So those will be fun to program. I've had the ideas for both of those for a while now, but I just haven't been able to get to implementing them yet, just because I've been focusing on these very crucial quality of life changes. Okay, let's find that. What is this? I think that is mainly ranged weapon checks. Yep. Here we are, line 303. Let's make a little note about that. So yeah, major changes are going to be the big one, obviously. I'd say the biggest changes is obviously one, the full screen capability. Jay says, is the second phase going to be involved in invincibility period at a health point, because then you can't one-punch them anymore? No. So the way it'll work is like a lot of the Souls boss. I know some Souls bosses have like an invincibility period at a certain point. I don't intend to do that, at least not for the tutorial bosses. rather at a certain health point, that's when the second phase transition animation would play to begin that. But if you somehow manage to deal enough damage in one hit to just wipe their entire health bar, then, well, that's that. You know? Like, there's not going to be a point where it's like, oh, sorry, your health, the amount of damage you do suddenly just ends at the whatever percentage mark I decide for that boss. At least for the tutorial bosses. Live, same thing. Now, if it's a later game boss, I'm not sure, just because I haven't gotten there yet. There's still a lot of planning I need to do for that. But at least for these tutorial bosses, I can confidently say there will be no like hard cap on damage dealt at like the phase transition point. So if you manage to deal enough damage to defeat the boss in one hit, then and just, you know, skip their second phase entirely, good on you. I mean, if anything, I remember, like, I played Crosscode a lot, and one of the most satisfying things I did recently when I was doing an off-stream challenge run of Crosscode where I can't earn any money or can't earn any credits, is I actually found it very satisfying to see if I could use some of Leia's stronger combat arts to specifically skip boss phases. So if you play Crosscode, you know that Eternal Winter is probably the heaviest damaging melee combat art in the game. I'm too early in the game to unlock that, but I have the predecessor to that, and I was actually able to use that to, when I was fighting the rabbit boss, to go from, like, maybe the 75% health mark to just instantly defeating it, skipping its entire second phase, and it was just such a satisfying feeling to be able to do that. So yeah, let's bring this on over. So it needs to be beneath that line. Crossroad New and plus Sergey Hats is hilarious. You one hit everything, all the characters have unique dialogue. Oh, I know, and I really like that they did that, especially for Apollo. It's just so funny having Apollo's accusations of Leia being a cheater actually be correct. It's like, I like that it's like after the first, if you defeat Apollo using the Survey hacks in Crosscode, after his first duel, he'll literally say the "you took a shortcut and gained nothing" meme, which is amazing. He says like, cheater, you cheated not the game but yourself. You took a shortcut and gained nothing. It's perfect. Now let's go here. So, lower well, we need to move this line of code beneath here. Alright, I don't remember if there is... There's not. Okay. Uh-oh. That could be a problem, because I'm seeing that that's not the same line of code. Also, read a message as Milliam. Long ago, in ancient China, there was a young man that fell in love with a handsome imperial inspector who had him arrested for his affection. But after the young man passed, he haunted his dreams, and eventually the inspector built a temple and declared the young man a deity and protector of love. This is the mythological origin of the god of rabbits, and over time, his story was incorporated in the land of Europe. This is why we celebrate rabbits. So, what was... Stat menu page, yeah, so this is one of the tricky things about just simply copying over code, is you'll notice, chat, that even though I copied this verbatim, it's not activating the same group because the different frames have different amounts of groups depending on how much programming is needed for them. Unfortunately, with special conditions, it doesn't index that properly. So we have to be very, very, very careful when we do any sort of updates like this. Now, fortunately for us, the group we have to activate is just the stat menu page chats, which thankfully is being attached over there. But it is something we have to be aware of. So, yeah. Oh, and I'll mention as well, chat, something else I am considering. So once I get the next major like update for the Heartwell demo out, I want to do some more community-oriented stuff with the Heartwell demo that involves something that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and that, of course, is like challenge runs, speed runs, things like that, playing the game in unique ways. So my thought, chat, and I want to run this by you guys. How I celebrate Easter this year, Copper Nicholson? Oh, I chatted with my family, and also went on a little hunt for chocolates around my apartment. It was a fun time. How about you, Copper Nicholson? Now, my thought is essentially to have like a community challenge where like I define a rule set of some kind. Maybe it's a speed run, maybe it's a challenge run, something like that. And then there's like a submission period for entrance to that rule set. And then at the end of the submission period, it would be like there would be a leaderboard for it, so to speak. So it could be anything from like a speed run to a challenge run, and stuff like that. And I was thinking that it would be the best time to do that would be after the next major update for Heartwell, just because I really feel like this update to the Heartwell demo is going to feel like a pretty decently sized overhaul. And the thought would be that I'd probably have like at least like 3 or 4 of these events per year, so that it gives people enough plenty of time to try and get a run going with the rule set I defined, but also to occur often enough to keep people interested. Do you have any thoughts on that, chat? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I think. Yep, that's it. Jay says, you think that's a great idea. It keeps interest in the game and boosts community. I agree. And I also think it'd be fun because it also reinforces a lot of... It fits with Heartwell, too, because Heartwell is very much a game about perseverance and overcoming, challenges. And what better way to do that than experiencing the game in different ways? And I did start jotting down various ideas for that as well. And it made me realize just how, just how replayable this game has the potential to be, because because it's an action RPG, there's actually a decent amount of variety that can be had with like challenge runs and speed runs. And that's definitely one of the things I like about the Souls games, is they're super replayable. Especially if you limit yourself like just to a specific weapon or a specific stat, or maybe you just want to go for a specific boss or a specific dungeon. There's definitely plenty of stuff to do. Copper Nicholson thinks that the Minecraft movie is epic because it has a Technoblade reference. I heard that the Minecraft movie, from a critical standpoint, really wasn't that good, but like from a fan standpoint, they say that just going to experience it in theaters with like a crowd that's very, very just memeing and having fun is really where the fun is at. No, hear me out, Copper Nicholson, because that is the same. It basically puts it in the same vein as the Rocky Horror Show. Jay says you have to spirit because of work. Fair enough. Thank you so much for dropping by, Jay. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. But what I was saying at Copper Nicholson is the Rocky Horror Picture Show objectively is at best an okay movie. But it's iconic because the experience of the Rocky Horror Picture Show is that you're being very rowdy and silly and like calling out various silly things while you're watching the show. Like, you know it's bad and you're enjoying it because it's bad, so to speak. You're enjoying it collectively as a crowd to the point where it's like almost like a memeable experience. And I think that's where the Minecraft movie is it's that, where, you know, objectively as a movie, forgettable, but as a cultural silly thing, it has value in that regard. All right. So I think, will that make it work? Aha! Well, it's a mess, but at least it's gets that working. All right. That's line 403. Yeah. Let the UI properly for the... Okay, so display the UI properly in Science Scientist tab is a process unto itself. Especially with the calculations for the chronometer. Might as well add this in as well. That sounds like something that William would say. May all your socks be soddy and your pasta broken. May all your cookies be salty and your lammies be destroyed. Wait, no, not lammies. Okay. So... yeah. Up next. Oh, chat. We have a bot on our hands. We have a bot. Copper Nicholson, can you promptly ban that bot? They must be removed. Removed. No bots allowed in this chat. Or, I guess technically Pretzel Rots is a bot, but you know what I mean. No bots trying to promote shenanigans on this chat. Let's see here. Now, where were we? Alright, 1 second, chat. I'm gonna chat something. Be right back. Alright, chat, sorry about that. I just needed to take care of that bot, but now we are back. Quinn says, you overbaked your cookies today. Got to make them again tomorrow and bake for restoration. Aww, I'm sorry to hear that you overbaked your cookies today. Well, I wish you all the best with baking cookies in the future. Oh, Copper Nicholson, I managed to ban them. But I appreciate you trying to work towards that. Our next order of business is to get this ad. Yep. Hey, the Arch guy, thanks for dropping by. How's it going? The Arch guy asks, how's Dame Dev going? It's going quite well. So right now we have a bunch of new things. I don't remember if you were here for the last dev stream, Arch guy, but we last dev stream we got the this new UI indicator up that allows us to see the player stat, whether our player level, melee level, or ranged level is ready to level up without actually opening the manifest. So that's a nice little quality of life thing. But more importantly, off stream, I finally finished the Science and Answers menu by adding all of the text that displays in the help box for this. And it took a while, not just because there's like, I want to say there's at least like maybe 30 different unique pieces of text that appear in this menu, but also because for each one of them I wanted to add some lore. So there's a lot going on here from a lore perspective. So adding that all in was a process, but now that we have essentially our Science and Answers menu all programmed on this frame, we're trying to propagate it through the other frames, and that's going to be a process because of some of the quirks of Fusion 2.5. But all in all, it's going quite well. How have you been, the RJ? What's new in your world? So let's continue. So add a lab code to display the UI properly. So displaying the UI basically means this. Need to use TET splitter sets for the. Okay, so it's TET splitter sets, I think, is that one. Yep. So TET splitter sets has some unique code because it's controls the in-game chronometer. The archive says, "You're doing it right. Glad to see it's going well. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it's going well." Now let's see. Besides working on Heartwell, I've been hard at work on the next video game challenge run summary essay. So I've already got the audio all recorded for it, or at least for most of it. The tricky thing about it is because of, well, it's a challenge run summary essay for Elden Ring, but because of the DLC, I need to create some new audio for the DLC section as well, and I'll also need to do some editing for that. And it's also my first time actually working with another editor on one of these challenge run video summary essays. So they've been doing a great job of help find, edit down the many hours of raw footage into fitting the script. So there's just a lot to do though, because there's just so much in Elden Ring. Alright, so go here. Go down to the central well. Alright, so Tet Splitter, that's, aha, so this one already has it. What about this one? No, it does not. Okay. Also noticing alterable value A. Yep, time elapsed in seconds. Okay, so that needs updated. So what I'm doing right now, Chaz, is just updating the alterable values for my own sanity. This will be for consistency moving forward. Once I have like a well-established framework for all this, I'll just be able to use the same framework in all future frames that will represent like the future areas in Heartwell. But for now, just need to establish that framework. All right, back to here. Up here. Okay, there's that starter frame. So if we try this here. Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't have the other code set up, but at least we have, in theory, that. Splitter 6. Tet Splitter 6. And Tet Splitter 6. Alright. There's an... So, tricky thing about Tet Splitter 6... Yeah. So, there are a lot of areas where we have to write the value time elapsed in seconds just to make sure that it's consistently saving the actual amount of time that was saved. There are many lines of code that we do this. Line 206. Right, so we need that end of frame line. It would appear that I've accomplished. I may have accomplished this here already, but I will check just to be safe. Okay, it would appear I had the foresight to do that here. So let's move on to the lower well. Yep, did not happen here, so it's going to be a process. Alrighty. Let's see what we can do. Start with the end of frame. There we go. Alrighty. There. Probably do the same for the depths while we're here. Well, this might be easier. On the end of frame section. Let's find it. Aha! There it is. Alright, that's done. This will be how we keep track of it. P16. That is well, 220 now since some lines of code have been moved around. That's P recovery. Yep, that'll be that line, 272. And then we'll go down here. 0.555. There we go. We add about 32 lines. Or, sorry, add about 16 lines, so we're going to 136. Yep. So basically when Dorothy is defeated. Let's see here, if we add about 16 lines, that'll be 288. Aha! About 16 there, that'll be 571. Bada bang. Bada boom. And chat, can I just say I'm so glad we wrote all this stuff down when I was working on the chronometer in the past, just because this is making it that much easier to figure out what we need to do. Because without this, I might have completely forgotten about the chronometer and been like pulling my hair out, thinking like, why won't this work? You know. Whereas the fact that we wrote this down, you know, having some good record keeping here, is making this a lot more straightforward. All very important. So this line will be like 248, I want to say. Yep. And what I'm essentially doing, chat, is I'm checking for the difference between this line and this line to determine how many lines of code I need to go down approximately to find the right spot. In this case, 244 minus 232 is 12. So if we dive back over to, and for those wondering why I'm not doing this in the central well, and that's because I believe I already programmed the chronometer in the central well. But the lower well and depths, I have not. This should be around line 300, and sure enough, there it is. Over here, line 583. Yep. Oh, also the next one apparently. Light shots for that. That is taken care of. At the test frame we go. 245 to 285, so we add 40. To 289. God. Where's your 292? Yeah. Yep, sure enough, there it is. In this case, 341. Yep. We have to do this for 285, 287, 287, 288, 289, so for 5 lines. Or 4 lines, since one of them I think was a comment. There we go. There we go. Alright. 5A4 out of 40, so 624. Oh, found it. Fascinating. Alright. There we go. Let's drink some water, chat. Yep. Go ahead, 3 lines of code. Oh, I would have missed that. There's some differences here, chat. I would have 100% missed that. Forgot about that. The fact that the animations have to be over for change animation sequences stopped. Yeah. Oh. $403. Yeah. That's important. That's something we definitely need to fix. Also noticing that this doesn't have all the animations. So I might want to fix that while we're at it. Okay. Alright, let's make a note here. What does Central Wall currently have? Let's find that, chat. Actually, not even. It's not. Well, let's update that. Oh. Hey, Quinn, welcome back. So right now, well, we were in the middle of updating some code for the chronometer and the other frames. However, as a result of that, I realized that we haven't actually copied over the animations from the manifest stat menu, and that's something we need to do immediately. So we'll go bit by bit. So a bunch of animations copy over. We'll start with this. Princess, is that Andor music? Good question. No, it is not. It is just some music on Pretzel Rocks. Okay. We're starting with the stopped. All right, there's that. Next up, next group of animations. Climbing. There we go. Excellent. I'll do a crouch down. Twin says you have photographs to take, so you're finishing up as many as you can. So you can bake some more cookies and actually relax. I see. Well, I wish you all the best with that, Twin. The one thing I am using right now to keep track of which ones I don't have is, you notice how there's no, the dots here are not filled in. That's because they don't have their animations yet. Right, that's the additional animations one. Alright. Alright. This is additional animations too. We're getting there, chat. We are getting there. Then we have additional animations 3. Paste that. Right, only 2 more groups of animations, chat, and then we'll have all the animations brought over. Now we have additional animations number 4. Number 4. There we go. Only a process, but we will get there. Now I just need additional animations 5 and we'll be good to go, at least on that portion. Nope. Alrighty, that line of code has been brought on over. And I believe, yep, the logic should all line up now. Yep. Excellent. Alright, moving on. $300, $301, $302, $303. Must have double clicked it somehow. I was very confused there for a second. Ah, well, that's just that was copied over, wasn't it? Yeah. Alright, good. Okay. Looks like we have a large leap. About 118. Just 114 from there. Let's see what we can find. That'll be, what's that? 417, at least in theory. Yep. That will be 465. Or thereabouts. I think. Ah, here we are, 466. Yep. That's bad. I like that the chronometer ended up being one of the more complicated, one of the most complicated parts of programming the Science Analysis menu. Just find a way to keep track of time in a way that didn't like lag the game, and then display it efficiently. That was actually quite a process. We're looking at maybe 727. Maybe not. Yep. Yep, we're getting there, chat. Right. That's 315 or thereabouts. Or more like 313, so. I mean, 832 then? Okay, found it. 155. Mouse click check stat points. That's what we're looking for, chat. Ah, found it. I just saw it. There it is. Yeah, I'm at about 13. 768. Okay. That'll put us at 794. Yep. It's 10:45. Yeah, there we go. Oh, but there's more. So that's a 41, so. Okay. Alright, that's one is 4 after that. Yeah, that goes for 4 as well. Alright. That over there. And that over there. That over there. And that over there. Right. Let's see here. Quinn asks, should you take photographs or go home? I guess my question would be, how long would it take you to take photographs? Well, I would say use your best judgment, but if it's something that can wait till tomorrow without affecting things, then that's, you know, a decision you'd have to make. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. We've just done this one. Add 6. Let's see here. 784. Yep. Yep, right there. Yeah, almost there, chat. We're getting there. Alright, so 754, 792 has a difference of 38, so we will that's 822. Or thereabouts. No? Here it is. I see. 860, 869. The altered record then. next one. For this we should add a 9. Sorry, add an 8. Yep. Add 8 there, that's just 845. Yep. Right. That's 92. Okay. All right, Chuck. I know it seems like it's been slow going, but as you can see, we've already gone this far. We're definitely more than halfway there in terms of at least getting this portion done. Let's finish strong. 817 minus 801 is 16. So let's see here. That's 893. All right. Whew. Oh, but there's 2 here. Okay. Very good. And 38. sorry, 28. Get us to there. And 22. Yes. So 890. So 1138. No. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep, found it. Okay, so what we got there? We got that added there. Probably define that. Just doing some cleanup here, chat, making sure that we're being consistent across all the frames. Then we have 320. So 1242. 320 from this would be 1210. That's definitely not right. Alright. Oh, it's gonna be under the Cobra damage stuff. Yeah. There. Okay, I think I found it. 1476. Hey. If I'm not mistaken, these will effectively be for those enemy types. Very good. I also noticed that I think this is where we increment the enemy's defeated counter, so there's that. Oh. Oh, that's rather silly. I seem to have mixed some things up. Yeah, that needs edited immediately. 6869. 869. Yep. What? Oh, different save file. Duh. I think. Okay. Yeah, looks like we have Jimmy 1-7 chat. Alright, sorry about that, chat. Yeah, to confirm something. Just add another one over there. Excellent. Ducks. Ah. Alrighty. Or to save file number, or to save file number. Or to save file number, 64 to save file number. To save file number 64 to save file number. Okay. Or to save file number 64 to save file number.
All right. I'll tell you the truth.
To save file number. All right.
Remember all the happy times we had?
All right. 64 to save file number. 64 to save file number. Okay. I double check that. That's there. That's there. That's there. All right. And we'll chat.
Remember all the happy times we had?
That was the chronometer stuff, which means we were to pull open the central, well, we have the central wall program for, but if we were to open the lower wall.
Pretty much alike.
Well, we haven't programmed the tets to do things yet. But at least we've programmed some of the stuff.
All right. I'll tell you the truth.
Chat. I think I'll start to wrap things up here. The next dev stream is on. Let me check my calendar, chat. Next stream is May 7th. I'd like to know about that. Alrighty. Alright, chat. I think that'll be a good spot to wrap things up for now. So, we're making good progress on transferring our code for the Science Nights menu to some of the other frames. and we'll continue with that during our next dev stream. So if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to stick around for the raid. But if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube, don't always change my layer. It's a great way to show support. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you have an amazing night.